All right. I am now recording all of you, so anything you say can or will be against you or whatever. I don't even know my used against you. Well, they can say whatever they want, so never mind. All right. Recording has started. Yes, we know that. All right, so for those folks who are joining us, I am ready to rock. Yes, I am. Here in the room, we have probably about 12 people. And then on the phone, it looks like we've got, if you include me, 18 participants. So welcome to the February Hennepin County SharePoint user group. Normally what I do is I let everybody kind of stand up and go around and introduce themselves, but I'm low energy today, which is not normal for me, just so you know. I have a cold and I'm trying to fight everything in me to be high energy here, so bear with me. And also this is being recorded, so once I figure out how to transport it out of Skype and save it as a file, I'll make sure to get it out onto the SPUG page on the SharePoint Center of Excellence. So you'll be able to refer to that. So what I'm going to do now is I would like, for starters, to just have everybody in the room go around and give me your name and your area that you work in and what you have discovered that you like the most about SharePoint. So I'm going to go ahead and start over here on the corner with Sharon Wessel.
I'm Sharon Wessel, Transportation Planning. I was with Diana. I like the ease of accessibility for our staff.
Ease of accessibility for your staff. Awesome. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you. All right.
I'm Robin Patterson from Transportation and Road Construction. And my favorite thing is that I've implemented things that everyone can use and that it's made my life a little bit easier.
Very good. Life is easier when it's better that way.
Yes.
All right.
I'm Anna Duda. I work in workforce strategy. It's great for, it's helped with team communication. We can put documents on there that everybody can track and edit and manage.
Good deal. Team communication. I love it. Thank you.
I'm Lisa Longford, and I work for office support and integrated planning and analysis. And I like SharePoint because it's a central communication point. People can update, revise documents if they remember to do it that way. 90% of the time they still send me an attachment.
You know, that is a cultural thing. That is a cultural thing, and it is slowly coming around. It is slowly coming around. Oh, one person's waiting in the lobby. Let's admit you. Who was that? Thanks for, maybe it's an outside person. Oh, it's a guest. Okay, please continue.
Resources, relations, labor relations, and audit compliance and investigation services management. My latest, lots of departments, lots of departments. My latest various steps and absolutely loves collaboration, critically. I love site content types. My latest high is on I can teach somebody how to access a document library through File Explorer or through Windows 10, or both the utility to get document library files cleaned up very quickly.
Thank you.
My name is Sarah Waddick. I'm in the business department as a trainer. This is my second week at the county, so I'm still learning how SharePoint is used here, but overall, my experience is really valuable as a collaboration tool, and it's kind of the best about it.
Awesome.
My name is Casey Witness. I also work with IT and I started with Sarah doing executive training. In the past, when I've used SharePoint, I use it a lot as a backup storage for really important documents that do need to be shared, but also it's a good kind of location to keep all those items to make sure that everyone is pulling the same up-to-date information. So
Nice.
People don't say anything. So.
Yeah, lots of versions. I mean, that's what the version control is so awesome. But set your version limits, everybody. Set your version limits.
Make sure they're not still storing it in a LAN folder if it's unshared.
That too.
My favorite thing is that Sarah and Casey have joined my work group.
That's awesome.
I've been around for a while, and a lot of you also have. But my site that I'm responsible for was set up when we first got SharePoint.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, I know that there's easier ways to do the things that I have set it up as. So right now, my most favorite thing is there's a group that will do usability testing on your site.
Here in Hennepin County?
Yeah.
Well, share away.
I was contacted by them. I don't know who set it up.
Yeah.
Amy White, I believe is her.
Oh, usability testing is available here, everybody,
So we
online.
did a bunch of usability testing with staff around the area. And they had absolutely wonderful suggestions and ideas and brought out points of confusion and what have you. And that's SharePoint, not terms of the code site. So when I'm yeah. Because I So- know they do the code. Well, maybe they're branching out. I don't know. So that's my most favorite thing right now is I'm hoping that that data can be used to not only make that site easier for staff to find information, but also easier to maintain. Because right now, it's really hard to maintain it just because.
Thank you very much, Ruth. I appreciate that.
I'm Ruben from Public Health, and we've been using SharePoint for that kind of that narrow class of content libraries that are useful for people beyond just our little team, but aren't necessarily appropriate for the public. So we've developed some of these documents and folders.
Very nice. Thank you. In the back row. Great, thank you.
Hello, my name is Stephen. I'm IT business unit. As far as SharePoint goes, I haven't had much experience yet. More SharePoint. I'm going to solution for connectivity.
Great. Oh. That is really cool. All right.
And so I would say that they also use usability testing on Hennepin.
Okay.
And we had
Your department collaboration site?
Yes, except we
Oh, Carolyn! Yay!
and it was great to do that because a lot of people go very tight to language and we just need to be outside the department.
Sure.
So that was really good for them to see that.
That's great. That's great. Good. All right. And we have a guest here today, too. And Bob Bew and Omar are connected. Maybe if you two want to just kind of give a why we have a guest. But we always welcome guests. Overview.
project for the HSPHD and all. We're working and we're just observing and collecting data and training as well as onboarding for SharePoint to make it more user-friendly
Oh, I like that. So Bob Bew just came up with a new term, SharePointonians. We'll have to use that. Omar, would you like to add anything to that? Like who you are? Sure. Reference guide. Mm-hmm. Nice.
I like your feedback so much. Everybody said the references, what the favorite words.
Yeah.
Any chance they tell us more about
what isn't their favorite? What they
want to see.
What they want to see.
Not there, they are moving to see it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I can.
Would make it even more easier for them, especially if we are focusing on the newcomers.
Yeah.
Who have no idea. As a first time account,
SharePoint's its own animal. Yeah. Oh, layman's terms are very important when it comes to SharePoint, that is for sure. All right, well, I appreciate everybody participating in the room. What I want to do is just quickly go over to the Skype session here, and I just kind of want to introduce the folks who are online. So rather than having everybody need to speak out, we've got, I'm just going to hover over everybody's names so that I can introduce them. So we've got Alan Rezick. He's an admin assistant principal. He's in the Office of Budget and Finance. We've got Andrew Rose. He's the IT project manager. He's currently on mobility assignment for the CIE. Betsy Culpepper is with us today, and she's an IT specialist for resident and real estate services. Brenda Shears is an IT specialist in IT as well. And Chad, and I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce your last name because I will probably not say it correctly, is an admin assistant intermediate in DOCCR. Hello, Charlene Albright. Hope you're doing well. She's an admin assistant intermediate in the Office of Budget and Finance. Dave Freeman, welcome. He is a supervisor over in information technology, and I want to say you're working at the sheriff's office. I'm pretty sure that's it, but ping me if I'm wrong. Deb Butler is also with us. She's communications specialist principal for county admin. And we've got Fred Schmidt, maybe Frederick. I shouldn't shorten your name. I apologize. We'll call you Frederick, and you're an accountant principal in audit and compliance. Harry Silver's with us as well. He's from HSPH. Jesse Ebert is from RRES. He's a supervisor for the service centers out there. Jessica Nolte is with us today. And for some reason now when I hover, there we go. She's an admin assistant intermediate for information technology. We've got Jessica Rosenfeld from Human Services Public Health, admin assistant. Kate Zelke, medical examiner's office. Hennepin Health, nice to meet you there. Or, well, not nice to meet you, nice to see you online, Kate. And Leela Tite from the Sheriff's Office, she's an IT consulting. Lisa Yang is a communications specialist principal from the communications area. Maria Su is an IT business analyst, principal information technology. Melanie Kramer. Melanie, everybody knows Melanie. She's one of our enterprise SCAs. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So thank you for joining us, Melanie. Melissa Garnett is from our audit and compliance group. She's an admin assistant senior. We've got Paula Smalls, who's also from enterprise development. She's an IT specialist principal. She also is a developer for SharePoint. We got Richard Moen, who is an IT business analyst in information technology. We also have Bob Torning. Let's give a whoop for Bob. Bob is also an enterprise SharePoint site collection administrator, works with Melanie. And we've got Ruben. And Ruben, I'm not even going to try and pronounce your last name, man. I'll just call you Ruben Z. He is a SharePoint developer in enterprise development. And then we have a couple of guests. Let me see what happens. We have Shanna Souther from the outside. And oh my gosh, look who else we have. Carolyn Bremen. Yay! So happy to see Carolyn online. Welcome, my dear. All right. Yes, Carolyn is a former county employee. She went off and branched out and opened her own consulting business and is doing great things for the world. So thank you for joining us, everybody online. I am going to go into presentation mode. So once I go into presentation mode, I won't see my screen here on Skype until I come back out of presentation mode. Could you watch for people? That would be lovely. Linda's going to watch the screen to see if anybody's asking any questions for me. Thank you so much, and she'll let me know. But when we go into demo mode, that's when I'll be able to also see if you're asking questions on the phone as well. So let me just go ahead and shrink this. Come over here to the presentation. Go back. Always does that. Goes to the first page. Why? Why PowerPoint? All right. So it's a oh, okay. It's the law. I've been told it's the law. All right. So what we're going to cover today, and mind you, I'm going to do very specific types of things that I've experienced. So what I want you to be thinking as you're seeing these things is, I wonder if there's a way I could apply them, or gosh, why would you do that? Or, hey, do you have the code? And I'll say, hey, I have the code. So I'll be able to share that with you. So we're going to do a little bit about using the script editor web part. We're going to talk about using the content editor web part, and then also an embed code function on a SharePoint page, which is pretty cool. And then we're going to wrap up. And I'm guessing you're all probably going to get out of here a lot sooner than 11:30 today, so you will get some time back on your schedules. But just wanted to let you know that's what we're going to be. And feel free to ask questions as we go along. What I will do for the folks online, for those of you in the room, I will need to repeat your questions so that they can hear me. So, all right. So the script editor. Definition is on the screen. It allows authors to insert HTML, snippets, or scripts. This first image here is what the embed screen looks like and where you would actually paste your code. Over to the right side here is how you edit this web part. So in each of my screenshots, you're going to see that for this one, for instance, this is a screenshot of a hide left navigation bar. That's what I named my web part. And this will make more sense once we get into the demo. So you can see what I've set my settings. Nothing has changed except for the Chrome type. The Chrome type actually is automatically out of the box for a script editor to be set to none. And Chrome type basically just means that you don't see the title, you don't see a border. There's certain things around your web part that you don't have to look at. So this example of a script editor, important reminder here, folks, important reminder. Document any kind of customization that you do, all right? If you don't, what could happen down the road is, say in 2017, so in 18, Eventually, we're going to be migrating over to SharePoint 2016. If something breaks during that migration, you as the owner of anything that you've customized will want to be able to make sure you have good notes to refer back to so that you can go in and help fix it. Because it's not a guarantee that everything's just going to, you know, pick up and shift and lift. We hope that that's the way it's going to work, but I never want to guarantee that. So anytime you customize, make a note. Yes, Linda?
There's a chance also that people might win the lottery and support might go to somebody else.
Yes,
And
there's...
you want to have that be answered.
Exactly. So that's another reason if you win the lottery and you decide you're going to leave the county, I would never do that. Then I'm here forever. Then we want to definitely know what you did there. So migration to a new platform. Someone other than you has to fix an issue. Think of your SCA. Think of the Linda Buzdekers in the world, the Melanie Kramers, the Robert Tornings, the Nick Periscovas. Those folks, they don't want to have to fix your crap. And then general reference. So general reference, this is best practice. Okay, so it's a good thing to pick up on. All right, next one is the content editor. So this allows authors to enter rich text content. So basically the content editor is a place where you can do free type right on a page in SharePoint. Once again, we'll show the demo of this so it makes more sense. You can change the way it looks, the style. It can be many different things, but once we get there, I'll explain a little bit more. This is also the web part editor screen that is down here in the center of the screen, and I didn't expand on that, otherwise I would have run out of room on my slide. This also allows you, by using the content editor, it allows you to point to a file with a code snippet which is saved in SharePoint for easier reuse and updating. Yes, so what that means in a nutshell is you can have a text file saved in a SharePoint document library. You point your specific content editor web part to that file, and it brings in what that is supposed to do. Yes, Linda?
You can also do that with the script editor.
Okay.
Which for me has been a boon because I can see a lot more information, and it can quickly change JavaScript or something like that without having to work through this little thing.
Yeah, so basically what it's doing is giving you the ability to not have to go in and edit your page and start monkeying with the code in the web part. It allows you to, one second, Georgia, it allows you to be able to go to that file that you have on SharePoint, edit it there, save it, and those changes automatically will change inside your web part as well. Yes?
I just sent a note back to Deb because I think he covered it, and we'll find out.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I love my helpers. I appreciate you all. All right. Embed code definition. So embedding code. This is most commonly used when you want to put a video from a video sharing site such as YouTube or Vimeo or Hulu or lynda.com or something like that. I personally like to know the 11 signs that make my cat happy. So that is the this is the example that I've embedded here. This is kind of slick because once again you could go ahead and save a file in your SharePoint site, point to it, and have to only edit it one time versus having to go out, edit your page, edit your web part, make the changes, and do multiple steps. We're reducing the steps by saving the file in SharePoint. It's demo time. Dun, dun, dun. All right. How are we doing online? Anybody have questions for me yet?
No, I just threw that at to Deb. The other thing I want to throw out,
yes, please.
especially if you're doing either HTML or JavaScript, we have a free tool in the application catalog called Notepad++.
Oh, yes.
It does great stuff to help you see your code and make sure that you've got syntax right.
Yes, so what Linda was saying, for those folks online is there's a great tool in the software catalog. It's called Notepad++. And she's putting it out in the notes right now, and it's just valuable so that you can be able to copy and paste your code out into a little text file to be able to read it a lot easier. All right, so now I have a question. Does this page that is up on the screens right now, does this look funny to anybody? Is it missing things? Okay, well, that's because I need to scroll up. All right, let me do this. Okay, so yeah. Right, so where's that blue bar? Is that gone? Where'd the blue bar go? What else are we missing? Are we missing the quick launch, the navigation? Yeah. What else do you see is gone? My site gear is gone. Look at that. Anything else? Anybody participating online with me? Okay. Well, there's a few things that are missing. And since this is in production, I can't really, how do I want to say, edit it. But what I am going to do is I want to show you what makes this look the way that it does. And then we're going to go in and do demos of those types of things on another site that is not in production. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to edit my page. All right. Now you can see I've got my ribbon come up and it's showing me, okay, we've got some text on the page. Oh, well, what are these? We've got some tiles. Okay, we got some promoted links. So we saw our promoted links. Great. Okay, so those are all in tech. Oh, look at this. Now we're getting into some other web parts. Another important thing to please keep in mind when you're adding code into a web part like this. Name your web part for what it is. Yes, Linda?
Okay. You were going to make me crazy.
Yeah.
If you tell me that each person has to come up with their own stuff like that. This should be reusable.
Yep.
So I am trusting enterprise development is going to make these web parts easily available to everyone.
Well, these were developed when I was in RRES, so I would love to be able to make sure that they become available to everybody else. Yes. So I just need to talk to the right people.
Devo also asked, is this a wiki page? Melanie said site pages.
It's site page. Yep, it is a site page. You're absolutely correct because it is the home page. So what we did is we created a new site page because we wanted to just have a clean and fresh kind of palette to work from. And then what we did is went in where you can say make this my home page in your ribbon, which we don't see right now, but it allows you then to save a different site page as your home page, and that's why everybody, when they come to this site now, they can see this. So back to web parts. Yes, I am hoping that we can make these reusable web parts for everybody across the county versus everybody having to recreate them, because what a pain in the butt, right? So this is the hide left navigation web part. So if I just expand on my little arrow here, actually, let me do this. Then expand on my little arrow and I say I wanted to edit it. What happens is this little guy opens up on the right side of the screen over here, so it's our hide left nav web part editor. And you can see that I gave it the title that I've told you. There's no adjustment to the height, no adjustment to the width. The Chrome state is normal. The Chrome type is none. And these two areas had nothing changed with them within them either. They were left as is. Layout and advanced. So when I scroll back down here, now notice once I'm in edit mode of a web part that this is where I could go in and edit my code. So it's called edit snippet. Do you remember my screenshot from the PowerPoint that showed that it had a little embed screen, and then it showed that there was code in the box. Does that look familiar from the PowerPoint? That's what this is. So basically what this code does is it hides the left navigation. It's super easy, really simple. You cut, you paste, voila. There you go. And your left navigation bar is hidden. The site logo was also missing, if you recall. Once again, real simple. You edit the snippet, you plug in this code, and it hides the site logo.
So are you doing this in content editor or script?
These are script editors. These are script editor web parts that I'm using here. And I did them one for one. So this code doesn't currently live in any library on my SharePoint site, so it's not pulling it. If I were to update this, I'd have to be smarter and get that code out into my library and then point my web parts there, so that I didn't drive folks like Linda crazy. All of these are actually the script editor content, or the script editor web parts. Another thing that was missing was hiding a link to the page title. So sometimes you don't want that page title to show up because you just want a nice clean page. This is the code that does that. Hiding that search box. That was another thing that was missing. Up in the left, right, not your left, Edith, your right. Up in the right-hand corner there was no search box. The blue SharePoint bar, which is the most prominent thing about SharePoint, is hidden as well. I actually had to have Bob Torning help me with this one. There was some stuff, and I'm only going to talk that way because that's as technical as I get with Bob, that he had to do on, oh my goodness, I just went blank and it's cold medicine, the master page. So Bob had to go in and do a little extra tweaking for me on the master page so that the blue SharePoint bar would disappear the way I wanted it to. And then hide the page tab. So you know how you've got page, and then you have the ability to browse, and you have the ability to click. Once you're inside a list or a library, it has the little tabs that come up and say list library up in the left-hand corner. Well, hiding that page tab is a part of allowing people who might be walking up to this kiosk so that they can't get inside our, how do you want to say, internal SharePoint site. So look at that. Somebody's posting on Facebook. Thanks. All right, let's close that down. So that's kind of what it looks like behind the scenes. Yes?
Is that not required, the click off the top and the search? I thought that there was an effort for it to be visible in this county, so that everything.
You mean a template? So, yeah, those standards are still being worked on, and they have not been rolled out yet, but I predict that they will be coming. And Linda, if you'd like to add to that, yes, please.
There are business reasons why, even if there weren't standards, you could say we want to violate the standards. There is, HR has many questions selected, and we needed as much real estate as we could, so we did it there. There's also, if you have that gear up at the top,
Yep.
one of the things that we can do is click on like an edit page or something like that. When they try to make their changes and save it, they're going to get a, sorry, this site hasn't been shared with you.
Right.
Which is insane. Hide it so they don't see it. So some of this to me
Is a business justification.
to do a fraud.
Yeah.
I threw out the idea on Skype of, does anybody object to me submitting a request on behalf of Spud to ask for these to be easily available as enterprise stuff site-wide? But if somebody else is willing to do it, I am so overloaded. I know everybody else is too, but I would wildly appreciate somebody else submitting them.
Well, yeah.
So I'm asking for that, but I'm also saying, hey, Edith,
Yeah.
on the Spud site, if we have a documents library, could you take these things in and put them in as text files?
Yep.
Labeling them, because that way, even if we don't have really usable.
Yep.
We haven't stepped toward using it.
You do, yes. So do look for these out in the, it's basically the SPUG document library. I will upload all of my little text files out there, and I will put it under this month's meeting header, so February 2017, for you to be able to access. And I will name them accordingly so that you know what each one is doing. So that this page was developed because it is going to be used at, on the Skyway level, there's a kiosk, and when our residents walk up, they might want to get some information about recordees, or do a property info search, or get into this little guy, which is run by the state of Minnesota, ECRV stuff. Homestead, that is a new way that people are filing their homestead, or for homestead. And then, of course, the Homestead Minneapolis is different. I'm not sure what the difference is between the two, so not my knowledge space. And then, of course, we have a internal system called PINS that Resident Real Estate Services uses, which is going to be sunsetted at some point. Yes, Linda.
Are you able to do anything so that that edit section up in the right corner and the share don't show for other people that do show if you've got the right rights?
Yes, so it's all based on permissions. You're absolutely correct. So I still see share and I still see edit because I'm an SCA for where this specific page and subsite is built out. Now, if you just have contributor or read rights, there are things that you are not going to see. If you're a contributor, you'll probably still be able to see the edit button. Yes, ma'am. I would love to be able to, but I can't because how do I do that? I don't have a run as ID.
No, but you can use me.
Oh.
So this is also something we've got a couple of different concepts.
Yeah.
Go to your taskbar at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
So stop showing this full. Oh, wait a minute. You're up at the top.
I'm up at the top, yeah.
Right click on Internet Explorer.
Right click.
Now right click on Internet Explorer, third up from the bottom.
This one?
Yes.
Okay.
Shift right click, I'm sorry.
Shift right click. Here, let me shift right click. Okay.
Run as a different user.
Run. Oh, we're learning something new here, guys. So run as a different user. And are you going to come over here and log in?
No.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to make you look at my page.
Oh.
Okay, type for the username, use SPT01.
SPT01.
And type in that password.
Oh, dear God. All right. TR question.
You're not supposed to be saying what
I'm
the
sorry.
darn thing is.
Okay. All right. Sorry. All right.
This is also funny because I was given a crazy password and I'm not allowed to change it. So I've got it stored in a Word
right.
document. I cut and paste into it.
Okay, so now it's opening something.
So go back to your other window.
Oh, let me go back to my other window. This one. Nope.
Copy your URL.
Copy this URL.
Now go into your other window where you're running as SPT01. Paste your URL.
Oh, look at that.
Okay, so this is real fun because she's telling us we can do things that honestly, if we're a generic person in the county, we can't see.
Yeah.
This user is a SharePoint user on the county, so it should be able to do me a favor. Let's see if we can prove me right.
Yeah.
Go to the root of HC Connect.
Okay, can we just stop for a second here? So
Yes.
The purpose of doing this
Yep.
is that I, as a person who's putting things together and hoping and laying it out,
Yep.
I can use this to see what using my site can see.
Can I stand near you so that you're not having to repeat everything?
Yes.
Absolutely. So I have, and to me, I am speaking against standard ways of how people do things. So no. This is just a different way of looking at it, et cetera, et cetera. Most people in the county, they have rights assigned to their SharePoint ID.
Yep.
And they go in with all the fancy rights they have, but you can't see what a general reader would see.
Yeah.
So what I do is I requested a test ID so that I could look at it with bare bones rights. I also have a lot of sites where I go in as me, and I have whatever rights I'm expecting as a member of some community. But I also use an alternate ID so that when I am using my SCA rights or my site owner rights when I normally wouldn't have it, I have a different ID to go in and do that work. To me, it would be fantastic if that was done much more in the county, but there has been no concerted enterprise-wide effort to do anything like that.
Sure.
But in my previous life, we did stuff like that so that you were always seeing, you knew who you were at the time and you were working in that role. If that makes sense.
So basically what we've just done here is Linda gave me another user's ID. It's a SharePoint, it's a test ID. And she wanted to be able to, per your question, and I'm sorry, I forgot your name already, Casey's question, so we could see what that page, that kiosk page looked like. But unfortunately, and this came to mind as she was talking, the machines that the kiosks are displaying on have a very specific user ID associated with them. So they have been given, that user ID has been given permissions to read that site, whereas, for instance, Linda's test ID has not been given the permissions via the permission group. Yes?
But look at her address bar. You'll see when she's on HC Connect.
Yep.
And if you look in the top right, you'll see SharePoint test ID.
But
so this is the proof of this is a generic user in the county.
Yep.
And that go in melding with is only certain people have rights to see that site.
Yep. And notice that the gear is gone here too. So if you were under this ID, you wouldn't be able to do anything but click on stuff on this page to be able to read it. Correct. Right. Yes, Bob.
So how did you get access to the SharePoint test ID?
I submitted a request through the TAR form.
Okay. I'm going to repeat that. So, so Bob's question was, how did Linda get her access to SharePoint user ID? And you have to submit a technical access request form, a TAR form for that. So if it's something, and yes, Linda.
Becky agrees having test accounts to test functionality based on permission levels is crucial to rolling things out with fewer hiccups.
Yep.
Go, Becky.
Yeah, Becky Winehandle?
Yes.
Yay!
I wasn't going to try to pronounce it.
Oh, yeah, no, I know Becky. We go back a ways. Anyways, so that's the idea behind that for you, Ruth. I hope that, and Casey, I hope that it both gives you a good example. I'm going to go ahead and close this. I don't think I need it anymore. Well, maybe not. You know what? I'll just leave it there for now. But now we're going to start playing around, okay? So here is a site that has been set up for me to get screenshots out of and stuff for the site owner training reference guide that I'm building out for enterprise development. I'll talk more about that at the end of today's session and other things that are happening as well in the training area. So what I'd like to do is first start off with, does it ever nag you when you put your promoted links out onto your homepage? Let's just, you know, because this is the homepage for Edith. And you notice how you got to scroll to be able to see them all? Do you ever wish that you could just kind of stack them so that they looked nice and, you know, you could have 3 and 3 or 4 and 4, depending, you know, on how many tiles you wanted to see all at once versus having to scroll? Because this isn't real intuitive to some people sometimes.
And some of us hate promoted.
And some people really just don't like promoted links. I love them, so I will promote promoted links. So on that note, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into edit my page mode here. And I'm going to go ahead and put in a new web part down here. I'm going to put in a script editor web part, and so my page isn't set up the way that I would normally do it, but because we're just doing this to show you, I'm not going to set my page up in a certain way. But I'm going to find my web part that I want to use. So I want to use a script editor web part. That's going to be located under media and content, and it is your script editor. So you go ahead and say, click there, allows authors to insert HTML snippets or scripts, and say add. All right, so here's my script editor. Well, now I got to do some stuff to my web part. I got to edit it. I got to name it. So what I'm going to do is say edit my web part. And we're going to go up to the top, and this is where we're going to change the title of it. Now, keep in mind, if I had this code saved in a text document on a SharePoint site somewhere, I would be able to click here, and it would allow me to build a URL to be able to get to that document in the library that it lives. Since I don't have it saved in a SharePoint site, we won't be demonstrating that today. But I can certainly show people at another time. So what I want to do now is I want to come out to my file shared folder, or my blah, 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 the network. Let's just call it that. And I already have wrap promoted links script editor web part out here. So I'm going to open it up. And number one, I want to grab my title. Well, I'm not going to be able to grab my title, but I'm going to say wrap promoted links. So I'm going to go back over here to my site. I'm going to call this wrap promoted links. I'm going to leave my zones, my height and width. Yes, ma'am.
A thing that I have done, there's serious disagreement in some of the cases about when you do it. Dealing with web parts.
Yeah, come over here, but don't kill yourself.
Dealing with web parts, there are various times when what you do initially you can't see later on. So here it does show you that it's used doing script editor.
Yep.
But part of what I will do sometimes is use an intelligent title and then parenthetically say what type of web part it was. Because these make me crazy where you can do cool stuff, but later on somebody tries to figure it out and they can't.
Right.
So just FYI and thoughts. Where she's doing the title, that's a fantastic thing. Please don't just do script editor 1, 2, 3.
Right. Yeah, don't leave your web parts titled with generic names. Otherwise, whenever you've left the county because you won the lottery and somebody else is trying to troubleshoot the issues, they have no idea which script editor is causing the problems or which is actually causing any issues, if there were any that were happening, if it wasn't working correctly. All right, so we leave everything set the way it is. The width is fine. The Chrome state is going to be normal. The Chrome type, as I mentioned earlier, is already defaulting to none, which is what I want it to. And we aren't going to change anything in layout or advanced. So what I need to do now is I need to grab that code that's in my text file. So I'm going to go into Edit Snippet, come back up here to my text file, move it over so I make sure I grab everything. And what I usually do is copy from the bottom down. Yes, Anna?
Control A to select everything.
Oh, Control A. Yay! Control A. There we go. Shortcut! All right, cool. Control A. Now it's selected everything. Now make sure, Edith, you do Control C, or else you won't copy. So, we've copied it. We're going to go ahead and paste it out here.
Using Control V.
Using Control V, yes. And we're going to say Insert. And now, normally I like to check it to see if it's working. So this will be good if it doesn't. So we'll hit apply. Oh, it looks like it's working. All right. And now we're going to say OK. And I want to show you what happened here. And I'm going to go out. I'm going to save this so that we are back to being not in edit mode. All right. So here you can see that I've been cut off because the number going across the top and the number going across the bottom, it hasn't been set to 3 by 3. It's been set to 4 by 2. But did you notice how rather than having to arrow across, and we can fix this, arrow across and see what the next promoted link is, it bumped the last two that were up in this line down to the bottom here. All right, so let me go ahead and go back into edit, see if we can fix this. This is fun. I hope you're all having fun. And then we're going to go ahead and edit the web part. And I'm going to go find my snippet. Got to find my code. Now what I have to do is, this is where it takes a little bit of patience. I don't always have patience. Alright, so variable number of links per row is 4. So let's change this to 3. I want to make sure I don't need to change this anywhere else. Current row, promoted links are displaying. Just kind of rolling through my code here. Alright. Okay, let's say insert. Let's say apply. Looks like we fixed our problem. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and say OK. And we're going to save. And now what we've done is we've created a nice, neat, 2-stacked section of promoted links. So you no longer have to scroll to the right or go back to the left to be able to get to see all of your promoted links. They're all right here for you.
Or create multiple promoted links.
Apps. Yes. Or create multiple promoted link applications, as Ruth Voss just said, because I remember back in the day when I first learned 2013, I was like, promoted links are awesome, but this sucks. You know, I personally didn't. As an end user, if I look at something, I want to be able to see everything that I need right in front of me on the screen. I don't want to have to scroll too far. I don't want to have to scroll all the way to the bottom of a page. You know, there's things in the web world which Linda is much more familiar with the terminology, but it's usually above the fold, below the fold, that kind of thing. And right now, we're still considered to be above the fold because I'm not having to scroll way down my page. Yes, ma'am, Linda.
Could you pan over those darn boxes? Especially as she was dealing with the others. For me, who I'm sometimes slow, she makes me seasick and kind of crazy. I have sight issues.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You know I have issues.
Yeah, well, okay.
So I hate this whole thing of the come up, come down,
Yeah.
and having stuff behind. Ruth, when you guys got your usability information back, didn't they say for the IT, didn't they recommend you go away from these things? Did other people have seasickness issues?
No, well, I'd have to look at the feedback, but the one thing that I remember is the pictures presented problems. And the suggestion was to have them blank like this. But it didn't say, I don't believe that the suggestion was to not use group.
But as you guys redid the IT department page, I believe instead of using these boxes, even just with blanks, you went to smaller, more tailored graphics that still kind of came out and gave you some graphical punch without throwing out all these other images that weren't of high value. Is that correct?
Well, I'm not involved with that.
Okay, I'm in the technology-related, I'll put out a pitch for the technology-related communication network. So this is a group that is largely to try to help its contacts in different departments who communicate about technology. And Mary Senko of IT leads the group, but we have a lot of people from other departments coming into that. She has shown some of your stuff, and if I am old, if my memory is serving me right, then she did say something along the lines of what I just said about the icons. I was just hoping you'd hear more.
Yeah, so Deb Butler did. Yeah, Deb's just said, usability testing in the county has shown that the promoted links are helpful, but users think that images or icons are distracting. So it's kind of a, what's that phrase? 1/2 dozen of the other, 1 dozen, one, you know.
6 of one, half a dozen of them.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Thank you, Irvin. So, I mean, it's not that you can't use promoted links, but you also will have to take into consideration what your end users are, you know, what you're displaying for your end users here. So thank you for that. All right, let me just shrink this here. All right, I want to do a couple more things. So let me go back. I'm going to close this file because we did this one. What else can we do? Let's hide the search box text. All right. So I even went in as far as adding additional information here, so around. So hide the search box on top of a SharePoint 2013 front page, home page, page. What you do is you go ahead and we're going to go out to our page again, to our site, back here. And this is the box that we're talking about. We're going to hide this search box. I'm going to go into edit mode. And I'm going to scroll down here. And what are we going to do? Right. Are we inserting a script editor web part? There we go. Awesome. All right, people are paying attention. I love it. All right, so let's go into the web part. Let's go to our media and content. We're going to choose script editor. Once again, we'll add it. And we'll come down here and we need to rename it. So we're going to rename it after we edit the web part. And we're going to call it hide, not hid, hide search box. And then once again, you don't have to change any of the settings. But now we do need our code. So we're going to come up to our text file. And in this instance, I've just put some additional instructions in my text file. But this is the only code, so I can't do Control or Shift All here. Otherwise, I'll grab way too much than what I need to grab. So I'm going to grab this section here, copy it, come back down to my script editor edit snippet, paste it, insert it, we'll apply it. And since we're in edit mode, we really can't see if the search box has actually disappeared until we say OK. And then we hit save. And voila. No search box. Yeah, I mean, see, it's these little cool things like this that, and let me tell you, one of the things that I've learned is that you can make, you know, like what Linda has requested, you can make these web parts be available as generically across, you know, the enterprise, but not everybody's going to need to use them, and so most code snippets are found on a case-by-case basis. So what I look at is the business requirements that come in for the project that I'm working on, and then I start doing research. So I don't have a library full. But Linda has something to add. So.
A strong recommendation is go with standard user interface stuff unless you have a business reason to.
I agree.
I actually would love to see things change in some ways overall throughout the county, but I strongly recommend go with standards unless there's a reason to veer.
Yep, I agree too. Always go with standards unless there's a reason or a business case to veer. Yes.
Just FYI, I also put a pitch out on the Skype thing. I will be in my effort to always help everybody know that Edith is the goddess of spud. I will be bringing a dark chocolate. Just to encourage people to be here.
I'm going to actually have you, thank you very much. I'm going to actually have you help me answer this question. So Becky wants to know, is there any advantage to using the script editor web part versus using the embed code button on the ribbon? Well,
I don't know. So I haven't played with the embed code button on the ribbon.
Yeah.
My preference is to do something where I am referring to a text file that I can get through the File Explorer, because then I open it in Notepad++, I've got all my stuff. So if the embed code button does effectively the same thing, I don't care. There are always 16 ways of doing anything.
Yeah.
Do what works for you, but my recommendation is use an external file that you can then play with.
Right. I do like that idea about using the external file. So what we'll do, Becky, is we'll try using that embed code button on our next one that we do here. Just see.
Yeah, tell Becky.
you know, the difference. Yeah, or Becky, try it and give us some feedback. Hey, I bet you have a test site out there somewhere. Oh, she's typing. Now she's like, okay. All right. Let me shrink that back down. Okay, so what we did is we just added another web part to hide the search box. All right, let's see what else we have in our pocket. If I can get back up to my file here. Oh, so you know how some people ask, can I hide or can I get rid of the edit links? And that's a wrapper in SharePoint terminology that's under the quick launch bar. So that edit links option, let me show you what I'm talking about. So let me come back over here. This little guy right here. So a lot of people don't want anyone messing with their quick launch bar. So that, well, let's do this. Let's copy this, Control C. Let's go out to that test ID that Linda borrowed me, which is right here. Control V.
Normally just you borrow from Linda.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look, there's no access to this site. Oh.
It's all based on security.
It is based on security, yes.
So the only people who have rights to edit that page
Yep.
would be able to modify that.
Yeah, exactly.
If I'm a reader on a page, do I even see that edit link?
No, you don't.
So who sees it if people want to get rid of it?
Contributors, people who are contributing to the site, because what happens is the contributor part allows you to be able to go in and do some stuff on a page, and that edit links function is usually one that is there, and sometimes site owners just don't want their contributors. They only want them to go to where they have to update their content, add their content, delete their content. But don't start messing with the quick launch bar because they've set it up a certain way.
The left navigation is very valuable, and while it may be great for them to create additional views on a list or library, adding the left nav can make changes from all users. Other users are going to be confused.
Yeah. So
Can you show where that edit links is?
yes. So edit links, yes, is right over here under the quick launch, the navigation. So we're going to do 2 more demos. So what we're going to do is I'm going to hide the edit links wrapper, and we're also going to hide the quick launch bar yet today. Because those are both kind of really cool things. And we might even take the time to hide the site logo. But let's try using that embed code feature first. So I'm going to go into edit mode again. And let's just say I will come back down here and put my cursor. And if I say, let's see here, where is that embed code bugger at? No, edit source.
Becky.
There it is. I was looking in the wrong spot. Yeah. All right. Cold meds. Embed code. All right. So let's just try using this to see if, you know, we don't need to put a script editor on there. I'm going to guess that we're going to be slightly annoyed. But I'm just guessing. So let's open this one. All right. Was it Shift, Alt Shift?
Control A.
Control A.
Control A selects all.
Thank you.
Control C copies. Control V. You come up with an acronym that helps you remember the paste.
Okay, thanks, because, wow. All right, let's paste that code in here. Let's say insert. Interesting. So that's what it looks like. But notice I can't edit this. I don't know if it's going to show up as it's saying that there's a snippet of embedded code on the page or how this is going to appear. So let's save it. Come back down. It didn't do it. It didn't hide our edit links. And so I don't think there's a real advantage to that. So if I go back into edit mode again.
If you want to be able to type extra stuff and not have something happen, that would be the advantage.
That would be the advantage. If you wanted to type extra stuff and not have something happen. Okay. So that's the advantage over embed code versus using the code, or excuse me, the script editor. So we're going to just delete that. And we're going to stick with our script editors. So there you go, Becky.
So Betsy Colehammer was asking, will it also remove the edit links that is shown at the top of the page?
That is actually a whole, that's a whole other section, I believe. I'm not sure, Becky, or Betsy. Let me get back to you on that. Let's try it. Let's put this new script editor in here. Nope. This one. Add it.
While you're trying, I'm going to talk.
Yeah, no problem.
As she was going back and forth, she showed File Explorer where she had a text file with this code she's pulling in and out.
Yes.
Because as you deal with the library, there's a little thing saying Open with Explorer. She could sit there and easily take all those files, throw them into a document library on a SharePoint site, and then she'd be able to do that.
I would. But I'm being stubborn today.
Able to do the things that we were talking about as opposed to this pasting stuff.
Yeah. All right. So edit the snippet, come back up here. Let's see. Control V. Insert. Let's do apply. It's gone. I'm not seeing it. And let's say OK. And save. That's what I'm going to see now. And it appears it also got rid of the one on top as well.
Did you mention that these are all CSS?
No, I didn't, because I'm not sure how many people really understand what CSS is. CSS is basically what, yeah. Say it out.
Cross-site scripting.
Yes, cross-site scripting.
I'm actually referring to cascading style sheets.
Oh, and cascading style sheets too. Yeah, that's right. That's the one. Wow, yeah. So the cascading style sheets are basically what SharePoint is kind of. We don't, yeah. You want to see more of this stuff, so that's probably a whole other thing. No, that's okay. That's all right.
She's putting in JavaScript that is helping change the design. It's just all, there's some conceptual stuff that can help people do some stuff.
So it only runs on the
Edith,
current page,
just
yes.
a quick question, kind of
Yes.
Is there some place that gives a quick list that says if you want to edit this item on thing, this is the cascading style sheet entity?
This is the style to deal with. Microsoft and Cosmos.
Probably, yeah.
Because while the enterprise development folks are all brilliant, they had to go look up some resource to see where it was. There are also, Melanie Kramer showed me in Internet Explorer, there's an inspect element thing where you can find out where something is controlled.
Yeah.
And that's way beyond where Ruth wants us to go.
Oh yes, that's very technical.
I'm
Yeah.
not saying right now, but
Yeah.
It's on your list for future topics.
I like it, yeah. And actually have somebody else like Linda come drive that, because I can't drive that conversation.
I mean, I don't mean to be rude.
No, you're fine. No, I wanna show you what I came here to show you today. So thank you very much. But I love the back and forth and the questions that we're all asking. So all right, so let's go back out here. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and let's hide that site logo. All right. So here again, I put some additional instructions in. So I just want to copy just only my code.
When you're talking about this logo,
Mm-hmm.
is that like the big H thing?
It is. I'm talking about the one that shows up in the left corner there. So it's just going to go poof. It's going to be hidden. So it might say poof too. You never know. Yeah, it's just going to go poof. All right, so we're going to paste our code in here. We're going to insert it. And then we're going to go ahead and apply. Did I rename this one? Thank you. I didn't rename it. Hide site logo. Thank you very much. We'll hit apply again. And like I said, apply is just a way to be able to see if things are disappearing. So notice it could be behind the ribbon.
So click on the browse and browse tab.
Okay, it's still showing up there. But we'll see what happens when I click OK. And I click save. Alright, so that one didn't work the way I wanted it to. That also might be because there was something else that needed to be done, or I didn't grab the right code here. Delta site logo, display none. Again. Because I know I can get it to disappear. I did it on that public kiosk site.
No, that's maybe where she has that pound sign, and she's probably going to site logo in this particular page. It could be something different.
Right. It might not be the code might not be referred to as Delta site logo. What is the code that I pulled down from the interwebs? So that's probably why it's not recognizing it and taking the code. Because if I just do Control V again, it's going to be the same code. I insert it. And I say OK. And save. No. No. Apply is only like a preview. Yeah. So it's kind of like sometimes in applications where you can hit save before you go to do a publish of something. Excuse me. It's similar to that. What's up?
Melanie heard the name, but she couldn't hear the rest. My apologies, Melanie. Deb, what would be the business reason for hiding the logo? Should the recommendation about branding, we submitted to the governance committees a while ago, include any language about why you would or when you would? My name is absolutely, I totally agree with Deb about getting that. So do me if we may want to show this.
Oh.
My other issue is this thing. Did I just disconnect you?
No, just my battery. You're fine. Yeah.
So show the Skype message so that people here can see it.
So
this is Deb's point.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, she's saying, hey, if we're going to be using SharePoint as our internet, and that's one of the things, there needs to be a business justification that's tied to why you would want to hide your site logo. Hence, for everything that I've showed you today, there really should be a business justification. Just don't go out there and do it, But I want you guys to know that you do have the capabilities as site owners and SCAs to be able to do some of these fun little things.
And I promise, with that and the other little edict up at the top, there are fantastic business reasons as to why you do want to hide it.
Yep.
But as I said before, stay with the standards unless there's a reason not to.
Exactly. So I thought I had the code, and I must have it saved somewhere else in my shared file network to hide the quick launch bar, so that if you don't want anybody touching your quick launch bar completely, you can also do that. But I don't know where that code is right off the top of my head. What I do want to know, or let you all know, is yesterday, Kate Vistas, who is an intern in enterprise development, kicked off a, how do I want to say, redone version of the contributor level training, but utilizing still the contributor training that is out on the SharePoint Center of Excellence. So she's going to be doing these classes on a monthly basis. If you're looking for a refresher as a contributor, you can go out to the SharePoint Center of Excellence here. Let me just do that. And on the calendar, I'll show you where to find it. So there's training and resources link. And when you come down here, let's go to upcoming learning events. Should be able to see what's going on. So introduction to SharePoint, she had that yesterday from 1 to 2. And if we go into not the month of April, although I wish it was April, my vote might be going in.
Intro to SharePoint, is that as a user or is that as a contributor? Because contributor is much higher than.
Yeah, it's a little bit of, it's, I don't want to say, Ruth, were you able to attend yesterday when she did that?
I looked at the material that she's provided, and it really is kind of focused towards contributors. There's an introduction piece about the SharePoint and how you use it.
Yeah.
But the rest of it, it's really focused on those folks that are working with the sites, not just.
No idea what she's asking me.
Okay, so I think part of what may have happened in some of the site page governance stuff is to possibly have the person responsible for the page, which I would argue with because it shouldn't just be one person.
No, it's multiple people.
But to potentially have that. And she's asking on that, I guess there's an SPCOE line page. Are you talking that, Deb, or are you talking IT training?
She's probably, right. Because there is actually a listing of who the SharePoint site collection administrators are out on a different site. So.
Okay, so Melanie just asked Deb to talk to Fred about what she's asking for in regard to this.
Okay, that's what we'll leave it with then.
The other stuff, and forgive me, but I have a web background going back to '96. You want to watch how many fonts you use, and you want to remember that not everybody can read what you show in a graphic. So please make sure you use alt text, because we do have people in the county who are blind, or like me, who have vision issues.
So, thank you very much. On that note, just a little tidbit. So we are still in the development of the site owner in-house training. That's going to be rolled out the second quarter, April, and we will be doing that on a quarterly or every 6 to 8 weeks type basis. And I will be the facilitator and probably rotating with others who are interested in learning how to do the site owner training, but I am building the reference guide right now. So it'll be both for people who are brand new to Hennepin County and have been asked to become a site owner, and it will be also for people who are currently site owners and are looking for a refresh.
So if it's once a quarter, any idea what's the maximum attendees for those?
So I'm going to be using this room. So it's probably 15. Once your class gets above 15, you have a tendency, like this is the perfect size, and you need another trainer to be able to be dodging around. Yes, it will. It will, yes. So if they will no longer need to go to the Science Museum. They will, if they take as a brand new employee here or as an existing employee who's becoming a site owner, if they go through this, it's 2 1/2 day, so it's like 4.5 hours one day, 4.5 hours the next day. Excuse me. If they go through that, they'll be qualified as a site owner. And so.
And having Hennepin County specific training is a fantastic thing over
Totally.
Museum.
Yes.
But also, and I think we may have it for new Hennepin County employees.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of issues with users who are not comfortable. Now, I agree with them on SharePoint UI is not always user-friendly.
Yeah.
But we've got a lot of people who are not comfortable with navigating SharePoint, so I would love to see more in terms of SharePoint user, not even getting into contributor or site owner, but just basic user.
Yeah, I think that's probably somewhere along the roadmap at some point, yeah. And training is actually falling out underneath Kathy Frazier, who's the product owner in enterprise development. So it's definitely a question I'll make sure to address with her on the note of just basic end user training. Last but not least, so let me just go back to the PowerPoint here. So we did the demo. The next user group is Thursday, March 9th. I will be having both Fred Bear and Nancy Suhu come in, and they're going to talk about their current project that is underway, the metadata search project that's taking place, and everybody is kind of being touched by that across the county, and give you a little bit of 411. And then I also just noted here that Codeplex is one of the reference links that I go to be able to find some of these codes that I was putting out onto the pages in the script editors today. And then once again, I know I mentioned this before, but most code snippets are found on a case-by-case basis via Google or Bing. Any other questions for you today? Any other questions online?
So the codes that you were using today,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
are those, okay, are you going to include them?
I'm gonna make them available to you out on, let me show you, out here. Let me just get out of this screen. All over the place, my goodness.
I think the main one I'd like to use is probably the promo links.
Yeah,
All of them.
it's really cool. I love the wrapping of the promoted links one. So here's my Spug page, and this, so you'll find it, so here's today's presentation, and it'll be additional information that's underneath this heading for February 2017. It'll be all those files for you. So thank you. I hope this was beneficial and fun. Awesome. Thank you for coming. Thanks everybody online. Thank you. Now if I can just get rid of my sore throat. I'm gonna stop. How do I stop the recording?